top stories. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bablet Jonathan. We begin with news streaming in from the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Today, October 1, 2018, was a dead day in most parts of Anglophone Cameroon. In major towns of the northwest and southwest regions today, the streets were empty and all the business premises shut down, and even administrative institutions equally, as a result of the situation that has continued deepening the socio-political and security crisis rocking those two parts of the country. It should be recalled that October 1 is a historic date in Cameroon, notably as far as the Anglophone regions of the country are concerned, notably talking about a reunification of the former West and East Cameroons. And on this day last year, the atmosphere was tense in those parts of the country, but this year it's been more of a dead day in Boya, in Bamenda, Kumba, Mamfe, and other parts of Anglophone Cameroon. Administrative authorities took some decisions instructing inhabitants to stay indoors, but some gunshots were heard in some parts of the two regions today. Now we take you to one of the localities highly affected by the deepening Anglophone crisis. Kembong, in the southwest region of the country, projects a picture, a real picture of a dead town. Terijato.
Kembong, a village in Manyu division of the southwest region of Cameroon, is empty. There is no sign of life here. The people have left the land of their ancestors, and sources say the threat brought by the Anglophone crisis has frightened them out of their birthplace. Some are reportedly in the forest. Some have crossed to neighboring Nigeria, while some people are seeking refuge in other villages like Osin and Bakut. And those we met told us that life is unbearable.
For peace to reign, if peace reign, at least economic will be flowing, and then movement will be, at least people will be moving from one place to another, going for business interaction. But now that the crisis is still going on, we are just pleading, we are praying God that let the head of state or the ministers, God should give them wisdom for them to come out.
Many of them have lost their loved ones and the security forces too. And their prayers now is for God to keep them alive.
People are dying. We don't even know how to record back again this death. So I wish the government to find a final conclusion.
And for dialogue on how to address the Anglophone crisis that has brought this untold hardship to them, be speedy and sincere.
And I cannot even know when this strike will end. So I'm calling on the government and those who are in charge of this problem to find a final conclusion. Because if we keep these children not to go to school, it is a sin.
Schools might have resumed for the second term in other towns and regions of the nation. But here, school is a forgotten issue.
My name is Deep Grace. Well, I'm a student of JHS Manfe. I'm a opposite student, ready to go to the university, but I'm not opportune, and I really wish to be there. So here we are in the village wasting our time.
Mr. Ashu John, a teacher at government school Bakut, is leaving the situation.
We teachers cannot go and commit suicide to kill ourselves because the children are not there. What should we teach? We teach who? Do we teach the classes alone like that? Look, our schools are empty. Children become thieves.
And the entire division is now reaping from the absence of classes.
Girls children have been pregnant. I don't know what to say about this problem. they are planning now to have more rebels, thieves.
Some are pregnant, some are... In fact, there are so many things that are going on between students and the youth. Right now, we don't know the difference between a mother and a child because of what is going on. So we are pleading on the Cameroon government to at least do something.
Pundits, on their part, say life might only come back to Kembong again when the Anglophone crisis, a crisis that drove the villagers from their land, is given the expected attention.
And at a time when the crisis is taking a more and more deadly and destructive twist in the two Anglophone regions of the country, the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, speaks out his determination to restore peace in those parts of his country. Speaking in Marwa in the far north region of the country over the weekend, the head of state, Paul Biya, promised to crush the activities of those he referred to as so-called liberators. These are some of the promises that he made during the campaign rally that held over the weekend in Marwa in the far north region of the country. For me, Armstrong Sander has more.
Political analysts were all wrong when they saw incumbent President Paul Biya, candidate of the ruling CPDM party, launching his campaign anywhere else apart from the far north region of the country, which has the highest number of registered voters. The electoral weight of the far north region is higher than that of any other region in Cameroon. Perhaps reason why President Paul Biya was there in 1992, 1997, 2004, 2011 and this year 2018, all of these at a time when Cameroonians had to go to the polls to choose a president. Speaking to the crowd at the Marwa Municipal Stadium, President Paul Biya said his repeated choice of Marwa to launch his campaign is the demonstration of high esteem he holds the far north region. The second reason, according to President Paul Biya, is to make the far north region benefit from what he qualified as the huge opportunities that offers Cameroon. As a statesman and candidate, Paul Biya's speech in Marwa appealed to both electorate and citizens. He appreciated the warm welcome reserved him by the population of the far north region, record what he and the far north region have been able to achieve together during his mandate, condemned orchestrators of violence and insecurity across Cameroon, and appealed for the vote of the population of the far north region while promising a more beneficial mandate as from October 7. As head of state and candidate ahead of the October 7 presidential election, President Paul Biya promised the construction of social amenities to facilitate the comeback of the population displaced by the war against Boko Haram. He also promised to boost energy supply and the exploitation of the huge mineral resources found in this region of the country. Another mouth-watering promise of candidate Biya was the extension of the railway from Gaundere to N'Djamena in Chad through Kuseri in the far north region. President Paul Biya did not just focus on the far north region of the country. He promised to bring back the deserving welfare to the population of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, currently hit by the Anglophone crisis. This, according to President Paul Biya, will be done by combating those he termed so-called liberators.
And while Cameroon's head of state, Paul Biya, is saying that he is determined to restore peace in the two Anglophone regions of the country and also to pursue his development and emergence plan and vision for the Republic of Cameroon, he's been asked to quit power, notably by the other candidates who are running the October 7, 2018 presidential race. Professor Maurice Kamto of the CRM political party has promised to protect President Paul Biya if he accepts to peacefully quit power. He made these statements during a groundbreaking rally over the weekend in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. For me, Armstrong Sander once more has the details.
The penalty kicker, as he is metaphorically referred to, was speaking to thousands of supporters at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé.
We say welcome to you. We say welcome to you.
Maurice Kamto, president and candidate of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement (CRM) party, told sympathizers that he is ready to be the third president of Cameroon. He said incumbent President Paul Biya has done his best throughout his 36 years in power, but it is time to retire and hand over power to those who can transform the crumbling, epileptic and unstable economy of Cameroon. As if responding directly to regime barons who personalized the peace legacy of Cameroon, Professor Maurice Kamto highlighted that before Paul Biya, there was peace in Cameroon, and after him, there will be peace in Cameroon. Alongside his allies and strong team, comprising artists and social activists, Professor Maurice Kamto demonstrated his strength of numbers, sending trembling signals to opponents, castigating accusations of tribalism on him and his CRM party. Maurice Kamto said he has fought tribalism all through his life and will continue even as president of the Republic of Cameroon. This huge turnout for Maurice Kamto, the penalty kicker, is then expected to transform into ballot of October to make his trip to the Unity Palace a mission accomplished.
And the campaign of Professor Maurice Kamto, like the other candidates who are running the presidential race, is not unfolding. Professor Maurice Kamto's campaign posters, like those of, as well as those of Prophet Frank of the Cameroon National Citizens Movement political party, were destroyed in the Bolowa in the south region of the country, and the individuals who destroyed the campaign posters of the opposition political leaders were chanting support to the one who they say has the power of experience. EQUINOXE.
The caravans of Prophet Franklin Afanyu IV in the Bolova South region. Bike riders and supporters animating as loud as they can to attract eyes on their presidents-to-be. Prophet Franklin Afanyu IV to them is a favorite choice who can convert Cameroon to the positive and paint smile on the faces of citizens. But not everyone in Ebolova thinks opposition candidates can stick to their promises. They prefer to be fooled by one they believe has the set force of experience. As a result, posters of other presidential hopefuls were simply destroyed for demoralization. Others, to show their non-support of any opposition candidates, brandish banners and charts bearing the image of the incumbent president in the caravans of other presidential hopefuls. They even go as far to tear posters in front of supporters. According to some observers, it is not such humiliations that decline a presidential aspirant, but the casting of votes. These are such individuals might not even be potential voters.
Poor waste management remains a major problem in Cameroon's major cities, including Yaoundé and Douala, where garbage is disposed indiscriminately by the population, making several parts of the city to be stinking. And this is why the Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Jean-Claude Mbonchu, has urged municipal councils to step up efforts in view of properly managing solid waste in their various areas of competence. He was speaking during a visit to the economic capital of Cameroon today, when he talked with some stakeholders in the domain of municipal solid waste management in view of enhancing efforts of municipal councils in the management of waste. He equally visited the sites concerning the access ways into the stadia that will welcome the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations to see the advancement, to take stock of the level of advancement of works on those sites. This is the next talk of what Minister Jean concerning waste management in municipal council areas.
What you call CIC is what is not the government. It's not the government money. They give them to the council. But you are right for one thing. We ask that in the budget they can use what they have to clean the town. But we have what we call CIC. How do we call it in English? Le centime additionnel. Is what the government give to the council, and they have also taxes in the town. I can tell you something. The budget of this municipality of Yaoundé or Douala, or Yaoundé or Douala, is increased, and you have some ministry. We don't have the budget of this country. Of this what council. Yes, they have to be organized. They have to organize themselves.
Now we talk sports. 2 former players of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon have visited construction sites to host the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. The visit of Roving ambassador Albert Roger Miller and Joseph Antoine Bell comes days after the Confederation of African Football (CAF) President Ahmad declared that the Confederation will make a statement concerning Cameroon's hosting of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations only after the presidential election. Smanjikan Gabriel has more.
The outing of CAF's president Ahmad at the executive committee meeting that took place at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt provoked former Lions Joseph Antoine Bell and Albert Roger Miller to move to the construction site in Garoua. According to Joseph Antoine Bell, one person can determine the rate at which works at the different sites have been done. Nobody can tell the level of works at the AFCON site before the last inspection visit, and CAF can take a decision on the organization of the AFCON. CAF's president continued to emphasize that he can't talk for himself but for the institution. He added that CAF wouldn't withdraw the host rights from Cameroon, as only the last inspection team will determine, and that will be in December. Roving ambassador Albert Roger Miller, who was also part of the team that was in Garoua, was very disappointed with CAF's president's outing, but was confident that the main stadia will be set before the next visit. Olembe in Yaoundé almost done. Japoma, same story. So if CAF's president thinks he is the strongest in football, he is fooling himself. If he wants to withdraw the AFCON from Cameroon, other nations won't be satisfied. He should stop threatening Cameroon. I am very disgruntled with that because CAF's president is not supposed to talk badly about a country. According to CAF's president, apart from the infrastructural aspects of the competition, security will also determine Cameroon is set or not to host the African Cup of Nations 2019.
That's it for this news edition. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.